Hit that shit. Yes. Oh, it sounds so nice. You law infidels, rise and praise. That's right, you've been in the trenches too long waiting. Where is my MLR? Where is my FLR? Well, here's your $5 face slap of shoot to kick off the weekend. Drone attacks, Jamie Foxx, Hacker Hameen in Canada, and there's nothing left for you infidels to bitch about because the invasion has begun. Syria deposed Hacker Hameen, the new ambassador to Canada, here on the Friday Locker Room. YOLO! Oh, YOLO. What's good, you guys? Getting ready for that Saturday night's main event with the return of the Body and all your favorite WWE superstars and the return of the Friday Locker Room. A lot of revamping to be done. There's a lot of back end stuff that producers and I got to discuss going forward for 2025. But we're here live on Ben Hameen YouTube channel, twitch.tv/Hameen Media, and Hameen Media Group YouTube as well, you guys. So wherever you're catching us in the chat this morning, good morning to you, and hopefully the holiday madness hasn't hit you too hard, or drone attacks over your house haven't hit you too hard. But speaking of hard, he's hard as can be this morning. Look at him. God damn. MSG's back in the place. How's it going, super producer?
I'm doing good. It's someone pointed out in the chat here. It's the Friday the 13th, Hameen.
That's it. That's right. You sound good. You're a little high. You can probably pull your gain down about 2.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's been a couple weeks. We had Black Friday. Then last week I went to New York and got very messed up with Ray, so I didn't come home till later on the Friday afternoon. So yeah, we're back. And as you already mentioned, I've been trying to follow this drones over New Jersey.
Yeah.
There's
woke up this morning, got yourself a drone. Yeah, dude. Everyone's been hitting up Hack. I mean, I've been on the road, but I have tried to be following as much as possible.
So here I'm just gonna pull this up from CBS News that says, what do we know about mystery drones flying over New Jersey? New Jersey residents and lawmakers are pushing for more information about mysterious drone sightings, including some near military installations. Federal officials said Thursday the FBI is the lead agency investigating along with the New Jersey State Police. Authorities have said that they would be bringing up the issue with the White House on Thursday, but assured the constituents of the drones of now don't appear to pose a safety threat. Oh, that's good to know.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah, exactly. White House National Security John Kirby on Thursday said that we have not been able to corroborate any of the reported visual sightings. So basically, you've got people in New Jersey are like, dude, we've seen all this.
I got to stop right there. I would say that guy's name again.
John Kirby
deserves to have his arm broken in front of the world. Like, these are the politicians who have to go. These are the deep staters who want to protect the Majestic 12, or they want to protect, the men in black, and they're tied to it to come out and say these things when we're so beyond this 1970s cover-up of JFK, go along with it, Americana shit. These are the people like him are the ones who need to be eliminated from every public office. That the time for truth is long past, and people like this will be pitchforked and torched, or somebody's going to come for them on the street on the way to a meeting. Like, they're learning nothing. They keep gaslighting when the taxpayers who put you there, who want real answers of whether it's Google Earth drones or our own military stuff, or what is when they look up in the sky and see a goddamn SUV-sized vehicle that looks right out of Return of the Jedi or Dune. Like, what the fuck is really going on? Is it black ops, or they want to gaslight and go, there's an Iranian mothership off the fucking coast and they're sending drones. Because remember when Obama had that drone that went down and they got that reverse technology? Well, they're back and they're coming for death to America, so we can gaslight that next super fucking Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin bullshit, so they can all make fucking more money off of death. People need to go up, put that guy in an arm bar and snap his fucking arm on camera. So the next dickhead who comes up to try and do some bullshit gaslighting, instead of going, yeah, I know that, Tony and Chris and Paulie and Sil over there actually saw something over Satriali's fucking pork store and didn't fire any shots at it. Meanwhile, we got UFO depositions going on in the Senate, but then this cocksucker's coming out here going gaslighting. We can't confirm any of the people who saw something because they had too much rosé over at Artie Bucco's restaurant earlier. Fuck off, dude. Like, I cannot stand these motherfuckers anymore who are in these positions like that, dude. Like, needs to be curb stomped. Like, when I see those types of things of the, Lee Harvey Oswald official story, or no, we can't confirm any of the things that people are seeing, even though there's 70 fucking videos in the last 3 days blatantly showing it. So
3,000 tips the FBI has reported.
yeah, I got a tip for you. Go all the way down on the shaft. How about that? There's the fucking tip. Like, dude, these people gotta go. They gotta go. And the time for what's really happening, whether it is some outside, foreign entity, Chinese balloons flying over our whole country. And not only was it Jersey, they just saw it in Oregon too, 4 pilots. And then what do they say? Oh, it was flash from Starlink satellites. Okay, dude. We're done with you fucking people, dude. If the aliens are here, or they've been here, or why we can't go to Antarctica, or there's flyovers in DC, Jersey, New York City, and what these drones are that people are even seeing orbs on fucking commercial airliners on the goddamn runway. Like, if you're not going to come out and say what the hell's going on, then you're done here in this position of, like, what do you think gaslighting just because the people aren't going to have one form of hysteria over another? Or they're just not ready for it, but you are. Fuck out of here, dude. I cannot take that shit anymore from the worst human beings on the planet.
All right. Well, let's move it up to something a little more positive. Ben
Well, I
Hameen.
think it. I don't think it's Iranian drones. I don't think it's Russian or Chinese. I think it is actual alien technology. And the reason they keep saying all these things is because what they can't say. You can't have Lou Elizondo and the rest of them given depositions on Tic Tac UFOs, and now we have constant flyovers the last month, all being taped, and then act like nothing's going on because you want to take Death Cult 5,000 into the fucking let's blow the fuck out of Iran next, or have the ISIS that we are now paying for that just overthrew Syria move into there as well. And then I wonder what'll happen when that ISIS goes, what, we're not getting money anymore, and they've got all the weapons that we already gave them. I wonder who they'll turn that shit on next. Like, they all gotta go, bro. They just gotta go. That's when I say, like, I'm not here to, like, print your 3D ghost gun like Luigi did and all that shit. Like, even that doesn't make sense, where this kid disappeared for 90 days and had everything going for him, and he comes back as a fucking shitty hitman. Like, it's a misdirection spot to look over here while we depose Syria, while we do all this other shit that's going on, man. It's just too much fucking lies right in the face of everyone, and we're supposed to sit here with a smile going, USA, everything's fine. Bullshit.
Well, Ben, you went to O Canada and you wrapped up your your run north of the border. Can you share with us and the Hami Media Group Army how that trip was?
Yeah, man. It was snowy when we were coming back. We hit Syracuse with all the way back to the missile silo. We were doing 35 miles an hour in a 70, so it was slow go. But you got the best wheelman in the biz, sideburns out there. That's how it goes, man. I don't know. It's very strange, like week for me, wrapping all this up because paid off all my New York business with Dick Justice and everything I'd done with Immortal, and then to go to Canada, which is a privilege to get to become, an international star. I just say star, international performer. Really is what a lot of guys in this business never get to experience. And really that started with infamous Jay Moore hearing me on WrestleZone and Russo brand and opening that door to bring me into Crossfire, and Chris LaPlante and everybody there was so exciting and accommodating. And a lot of times when you're coming into a new locker room, that means you're taking somebody's spot, and
Right.
that means somebody's buddy has it out for you and they're looking out side eye for you. Crossfire is a different monster altogether, because here in New York, there's a lot of boys playing wrestler who want to be pro wrestlers and are trying to put in the time, but they're still children. When you go to there, everybody's a man. I think the youngest guy in the locker room is 30 probably, like, and you look around and there's no, oh, look at that kid who's 120 pounds trying to do spots. It's me, Congo Kong, Cody Diener, and everybody that's there is a pretty well seasoned vet, Daddy Davis, and plenty of others that I'm, forget now, but it feels like you walk back in a 1995 WWF when you worked there. The ring sucks. it's a foot and a half higher than a WWE ring is, so get in and out of it, and it's stiff as shit. It's one of the hardest rings I've ever bumped in, but that's part of the magic of it too. So you have to kind of craft your match. If you're taking a lot of bumps in that ring in your first ones, you're going to be like, well, I'm not working that style here anymore. So I had a feud, Chris LaPlante, that went throughout my whole story, like a lot of my stuff does, whether it's with Congo Kong or the late Rob Rage, or getting to work with Tyler Turva and Cody Diener. I was very fortunate, as always, to get those opportunities, and work for those guys for 5 years. And the heat just built between Chris and I, and people wanted one more match. And Chris doesn't work a ton. He's trained by Bobby Bass, who's a legendary worker there in Canada, all over the world, really, and worked with Rip Rogers, and Bass loves Rip. So he knew that I had the pedigree of an old schooler, and I respect him so much. And that's the other thing. You look around in the locker room, and there's this corner of old timers, Bobby Bass, Ron Hutchison, Rob Hubbard, and others can just kind of filter in. You don't see that in a lot of locker rooms, hardly ever. So there's always time to go bust balls with the old timers, and they love it. They want to rib. That's what they come for. And maybe I'll be one of those guys one day who just shows up to have a good time ribbing with the boys. But it's very special. It's a very special place, especially with the passing of Rob Rage last year. To not have him in that locker room, you definitely feel that, as he was a staple there in Ontario. And the match kind of stole the show. Started out with induction to Hall of Fame for me, and I made Chris LaPlante and Hubbard induct me. They didn't want to, but it was great. And I love this because I used it in another match. Like when you come out there, there's a tunnel that goes down a ramp, but you're on this big like stage, like a high school theaters type stage. It's at the Merit Center, and I look down and there's a nice Christmas tree about 20 feet down the stage. So I went over and blasted that off of the fucking stage in half with my ISIS flag. That got a good reaction. They wanted me to use it in the match, but there was ornaments and bulbs on it, and we were semi-main event. There was no way I was going to take a chance of breaking a bulb and having Congo Kong or Daddy Davis have to go out there and put themselves at risk, you know what I mean, for a spot that was going to get me over. And then beat the shit out of Chris for about 8 minutes straight after the Hall of Fame thing broke down. And the finish was pretty excellent. I'll post the video after it plays on Canada there on TrueTV.tv, it might be called. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was taped, and people were super pumped. His kids are like 6 and 5, or like maybe 7 and 5. And they were in the front row crying their eyes out as I beat the shit out of their father, and the crowd was really with it. And it was simple. because keep it simple, stupid, especially for Chris to keep him safe. And while I beat the hell out of him for 8 minutes until he makes his comeback and got me with, I'll let you guys see later. But, like to wrap it up and kind of have a flawless performance, where I'm really not like, oh, I wish I would have done this different. I wish I would have done that. Or we had him and we lost him and I should have done this, and give Chris a moment in front of all of his people and his family and kind of save Christmas from evil and, all that good feeling. And to wrap up, going out on your shield and paying off your heat. Like, there's not much more you could ever ask for as what we do in this art, to be able to book your own angles and do your own payoffs and have the guy you're working with feel so grateful that you got to work together. You know what I mean? And I feel that way too. So for a guy who is nothing more than a parasite, ass kisser or whatever, who never did anything,
Blackballed.
blackballed. It sure was a good 18 years. And the way I wanted to wrap it up, I couldn't ask for anything more. It was strange going into it. I wasn't really into anything, like even like dreading the week before, because I haven't wrestled in like 6 months, right? Like, oh, I got to do this. Oh, fuck. But I knew it was going to be fun with Chris, but it wasn't until about 10 minutes before I went out there that I wasn't really in the zone. Usually 2 days before I got a good idea of where I'm going and whatnot. But the way I put the match together, and actually Stevie and Vince, I asked them and took their input and absolutely applied it, and it all worked like magic, man. So art by committee, and sent all the people home super happy. And then at the end of the match, they had an envelope where the loser's fate is decided, and I am banned from crossing the border in Canada.
Oh, God.
Well, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Doesn't mean illegal border crossings happen every day, or so I'm told.
So that's what we're told.
Yeah, man. But thank you to every opponent, every tag partner, and again, for Jay Moore opening the doors. I worked for 4 different Canadian companies, and I might not have had that opportunity to get a foothold and establish there if it wasn't for infamous Jay Moore. I miss not having him there. And one of the best talents I've worked with, in my career. Like, for me to not have to get heat on the mic and people to hate my manager more than me. Jay has all that Bobby Heenan style, updated style for the new millennium on him. And yeah, I'm just very thankful, man. So 18 years coming to an end, and it'll pretty much just be some podcasts and Ravens joint going forward. And I'm thankful, most thankful. I've never been sent to the hospital, and I've never sent anybody to the hospital in 18 years. I think that is the most mark of a pro that you could probably have in this business.
Well, I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important. Humming Media Group needs to know. They want answers. Ben Humming. Did fucking Kaz show up to your show?
No, Kaz was not.
Fucking Kaz, the heat's on you. You're in Canada. You couldn't make the 2.5-hour drive to watch Ben Hameen. You knew it was coming. The dates were there.
Yeah.
God damn, Kaz.
Yeah. You know what? That does kind of like sting a little. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, "Where's Kaz?" Because I wasn't thinking about it too much till you buried him. But yeah, dude, I kind of, that's a bit of my heat with Jeff Lane too, where I'm like, I don't really have much connection or give a shit to him now, because I was working Rochester while we were both on Russo brand, and it was too much to leave the she shed to fucking come over, have a drink with me, and get a picture so we could pop Vince. Like, that was too much of an ask, I guess. So there's some people who, and I'm not saying this to Gaz or even Jeff really, but they act like they respect the craft and the brotherhood, but then when it comes nut cutting time, you never know, though. At the same time, somebody's kid could be sick, or that I try and get.
I don't want to hear that excuse. Frank brings every fucking kid to his show.
That's
He's
true.
got a whole gaggle.
And that's what I was. I agree. Frank fucking goes above and beyond with HMG support, with uh, interacting with his family, and really helping with that community. You know, I'm not saying Kaz doesn't; he does a great job, but it's always moments that I get super proud when I see you with Ray and you on the
Yeah.
East Coast, or you with Billy Ray, are going and sharing that brotherhood and taking a digital relationship to analog. You know, and that's what we really are searching for post DVOC 9091 is that connection again. So I love to see it and I love to be a part of it. But, you know, sometimes stars align and sometimes they don't. And I didn't miss out. It was one of my best performances in my career, not mailed in. And I was feeling it off of the spear and off the double down, double clothesline. I took two shitty bumps, like one on one side and one on the other instead of both flat back. And by the time the adrenaline came down, when we hit Buffalo Tully's, I was feeling every bit of it. But shout out to Sideburns because both refs canceled, and he was supposed to be the third one. He Iron Man the whole show. He refed every fucking
Damn.
match, and
Damn.
then drove it there and back, dude. So to be on the road with my best friend, you know, it's awesome.
Well, to wrap this up.
It was an awesome run.
To wrap this up, Kaz.
You shouldn't have done that.
All right.
It's too bad. Yeah, man.
It's all right. Heat's on you, Kaz. You know, now when Ben Hameen has his last match at OVW against Cashflow, you better fucking show up.
Yeah,
better make the trip.
It'll probably be against Cal Hero.
Al Snow. No, sorry. A tag team match. Maybe you and Cash versus Snow and Hero since they're connected.
That
know,
wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad. That's a. I'll tell you what, Frank.
No
I know
kiss
you're
from Keela.
ribbing and whatnot, but those are the things that right there will definitely. When I look back at my career, I'm not gonna be like, oh, what the fuck, but like I'm like, you know, I like to get max value out of storylines and business, and even though I paid off with Kayla with the big donut shot with her and Dimitri and doing business to put over Garrett Holiday, who's a great locker room leader now and a dude who's busted his ass from day one on the road to become somebody in the Northeast in this business. I'm real happy to see him. I'm happy to do business and make baby faces all day, but there was definitely more to do with that Kayla stuff. And she just bailed on the business. And like I said, you can't make people in this do what you want them to do. It's art by committee, but are you in it for the long haul and you listen to a veteran who's going to help get you over, or do you want to be short-sighted and do what's best for you and be greedy? Sometimes that is what will get you hired. But when that doesn't happen and you're left out in the wind and they're not going to hire you now, you can't come back to me and be like, let's do something. Why? I invested a bunch of time in you and you didn't want to pay it off, and I had a way to get you over, make money, and make something out of you that the WWE machine didn't have to have their hands in until they saw you, and then they would definitely want you. But the short-sightedness of whatever it is, and I'm not just saying her, I've seen this since my OVW days.
I've seen it here on podcasts where people want to fuck you over, then they want to come back.
Yeah, and all I can do is stay true to me as a man, knowing what I do out of the gate has integrity to it, not an alternative motive to let me use this person, get myself over, and fuck them. Like, you know, I'm not saying she said that or did that. I loved working with her, but I'm the one who goes out and gets the Serena stuff done so she can get over and get a look. I'm the one who goes the extra mile to figure somebody into my business, you know, like, and then where we could have gone with the rainbow flag that she flies, to really put her on the cover of magazines, especially going into the last 2 years. You know how over I could have got her as a major baby face in alternative lifestyles. But now she's kind of off the radar of the major companies, even though she's had her shots, and she's a sweet girl, but this business can make people make calls that weren't the right one. And when you look back, hindsight 2020, because you didn't get the payoff that you were gambling for, you missed out on what could have been cool. And that's there's nothing worse than that to me.
I think what I would take away from this, you know, just as far as just if I was to point out information to me, it feels like, and I already went off on a rant. I don't need to do this again, but to me, it feels like you have spent a good amount of your time going out of your way to try and help others, but that's never been reciprocated when it comes to the professional
And a
wrestling.
lot of people get super pissed that my friends don't
Yeah, exactly.
go to bat for me. Yeah, dude.
And
Like
I
I
know
said,
you're doing it out of the kindness and professionalism in your heart and as a person. You're not necessarily thinking I'm going to do this because it's going to help me get ahead. I mean, I'm sure that's somewhere in the back of your mind, like, hey, hopefully in the future when
we're
it
all
comes
gonna
back
get over.
around, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But it doesn't seem, and this is a lesson I think for any industry, right? That if you're going to go out of your way to help others, just like yourself, Ben, you don't expect necessarily to get it back. So you either have to take that route or you got to go the selfish route and be like, fuck them, I'm getting mine. Right. So it kind of
yeah,
seems to be one or the other.
it really is that in this, buddy. And I appreciate you laying that out. And I try not to carry any of that sourness of like my friends never really went to bat. Some did. Let me put over Jimmy Paradise, bro.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Paradise, while he was working at Impact, they lost their web guy. He called me and got me that gig. And so I'm not going to say nobody
Right.
does or what have you. Like, I love that dude, but when people are,
When people are signed to AEW, when people
or
are
end up,
signed to NWA,
yeah, dude. And when they crash and they need a place to fall and keep their creative skills going, and I love them, I love their mindset, or they might be going through addiction issues or this roller coaster of, dude, we're all, not say we're all, because I am in some ways, but this is the island of broken and misfit toys. And that people give great performances because they're getting out that emotion real of whatever's fucked them up. They tap into it and it gives them that it factor. When the cameras are off and the crowd's not there, they are pretty severely broken addicts, most of them, who constantly are battling major depressions and battling whatever their, vice of choice is, or being addicted to going to the gym and improving themselves. And it's still the same pattern of behavior. It's constructive and destructive at the same time because there's no yin and yang balance to them, where thankfully, based on my DNA and how I was raised and seeing my father being a leader amongst men and not looking for like, oh, give me the pats on the back, but I'm going to jump in the trench with you. I'm going to dig that hole. I'm going to chop that wood, carry that water with you. Um, that's what I'm made of. And a lot of people aren't. And I'm very thankful for that, too. But it comes with a price where people who aren't made of it are going to try and use you, step on you to be selfish and get with you. I'm not saying my friends aren't my friends. They don't care about me, but they know Ben Hameen's a controversial figure. They know I'm with Russo. They know I'm with Rip. Like, these are dudes who got a lot of heat, and like other people would be like, I don't want heat by association. That's gonna fuck up my chances with Khan. When I go, dude, if you're gonna bury those guys just based on shit you don't know about, like that tells me everything you need to know about you. Like, they have, I hate to say this, they just don't have all the pieces to operate at a functional level, you know. And does it sting when some of my friends who really made it don't reach out, or guys in 2CW that did and now they're world champ in WWE, and or people I've produced that are vice presidents of companies, and you just sit here and you're like, okay, dog, and some people even in my most core group, who I've gotten spots for, giving them place to sleep when they're at the bottom of their addiction levels, like I'm not asking for anything in return. I understand these are people battling their own issues that I don't deal with. I don't really get depressed. I don't really get, aside from spotlight and weed, addicted to like, I stay away from gimmicks. I stay away from that type of stuff. So I don't have as many of those traps, but I don't know, man. I understand what you're saying. It does
well,
suck a little bit, but
let
whatever.
me ask. Let
I
me ask.
also did it myself. I could have not been Ben Hameen, right? Like in this business, if it's not working, flip away. I made the choice to stick to a character to help pay off PTSD from 9/11 that never no 9/11 truths come out. We fought 2 wars on complete bullshit, lost them both to rebel alliances, while our politicians had our sons and daughters killed and made money off it, and they're going to do it again. That's why the character stays.
Let me ask a follow-up question, right? As you're coming to the end of the professional wrestling career and this character's coming to an end as well. Obviously, you're running a successful business now, so it's not necessarily in your purview, but would you consider now changing the character? Shave the beard, bring Ben Hameen as a different name, different character into a company as a manager. Nothing to do with terrorism, nothing. Would you consider that?
Yeah, well, I would just that's exactly what I'm probably going to do. Obviously, new year, new me, and it'll be weird because this is my identity,
Yeah.
but it's all just for character. This sucks to eat with, sleep with, kiss your wife with, all
Your
that.
wife's like, fuck yes, this thing's
She
going
hates it,
away.
bro. So it's all those things, and to turn a new
Probably gets
page.
really sweaty when you're grunting shit.
Yeah,
Sorry
yeah, no, it's all good.
to give the fans a visual.
um, but yeah, man, like it'll be a big change, but I invite it. It's gonna be weird, but doesn't mean it has to die. I just switch in the next thing. Why wouldn't I be under the new administration if I'm been working for the CIA and live in a missile silo?
You've been
Spy-
compromised. You've been
Spies
compromised.
change all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, it's time for me to do what it is, right? So I can come up with any born identity creative that I want to, and that's exciting. But the reality is it's all about the money. What I can do here at Ravens Joint in a weekend doesn't equal the last 18 years of my career in envelopes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to flex when I say that and whatnot, but
I guess we'll truly find out if these people want to help you after you shave the beard and you're not playing the terrorist character anymore, right? Because then what's their fucking excuse?
yeah, I like to me like what am
I
I'm
know
not
you're
gonna
not
go
thinking
on the
that, but
road.
the
Yeah,
fans thinking that, like, well,
sure,
okay.
sure,
Oh, okay. So Ben
sure.
changed his character. Now what? Best friends? Fucking say you nothing. No excuse now.
Well,
He's not playing a
yes.
terrorist.
No, I agree fully, and it's a great segue into where we can go next. But dude, I'm an improv Olympic trained fucking improv professional. There's 1,000 characters
Yeah.
inside of me. This right here, this CIA persona that they made me invent. Like whether it's Andy Kaufman or anybody who thinks that really I'm British, like like he did the bit. Yeah, I love it. I love being the chameleon to do idea, but the time has run its course in wrestling. If somebody needs me down the road, then I'll do what I need to for Blaze Haram or whoever, Ziwu. But yeah, it's a rap dog. Like, and I look at my favorite shows like Trailer Park Boys, and most actors will never know, like when you
Sorry, I'm
play.
laughing because I want to see you come back
Yeah.
full like silver suit, shaved head, shaved beard, holding up one of those long mics like you're Ryan Seacrest, like you're a host. Hey guys, welcome on back.
I can, yeah,
I
play
know
it
you could.
off,
That's why
right?
it'd be funny. I was watching in my head.
Yeah, and that it wouldn't be funny that that's who they want, right?
Yeah, that's how they're gonna sign you too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. Those guys from Trailer Park Boys or whatever your favorite show is, Friends, even I guess, right? Or Seinfeld. It's tough for Kramer to go out and be seen as anything else but that, or Bubbles and Julian and Ricky. And when you play a character for 18 years with no breaks in between, and it's just ongoing storyline, you know what I mean, really, from 2CW till now. It was tough to weave OVW into 2CW, but from now I've been kind of doing a storyline that has been continued for over 12 years.
Yeah.
So that's really the longest term business, because when I can bring back Dick Justice and have him go over, that is the fucking end chapter on that stuff. You know what I mean? So very thankful that almost every promoter I ever worked with let me book my own stuff, because it was going to be better than what they did. And my friends and connections coming in like a GGP or Stevie or Spirit Squad or whoever has made some great moments for me and the wrestling community here, dude. So it's win-win when it comes to that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see the way things morph. I'm sure. Like, I can't give up that spotlight addiction. So what's my next spot? I was thinking maybe start stand up, but I don't really want to go on the road or anything. I just would want to do some shit local. I just don't want to go on the road, is what it
Yeah.
comes down to. So, I've tweeted Tony Khan, and I usually don't reach out, and they're half ribs, half not. But I'll sit here and write his fucking shows right from where you see me right now and do a better job than he could ever imagine. And he'll get a master's degree education from the consultants that he should have started with before he ever opened the doors of his company. But there's only one way to learn, the hard way. And Triple H can keep doing what he's doing, and the product is garbage. Like, people might say it's this or it's making money or they're going to Netflix. There's nothing worth like, wow, this was great creative, great choices. Like, it's all bad. It's all piss poor at the highest levels, but they look down on everybody who's not there and be like, what the fuck do they know? A lot more than most of the people you have employed at the highest levels is what I know, because I sought out the best mentors on the planet in comedy and wrestling to sit under those learning trees, absorb, and then put it all in the Hameen blender and come up with my own sauce. So, and it's worked because I've lasted this long and made it to the top where I got to the USA Network president to influence Vince McMahon. Find me another independent wrestler that's even come close to doing that type of shit, bro. Nobody. So there's not much left for me to be like, oh, it's undone. My business partners are Stevie Richards and Vince Russo. Tell me another indie guy who's got that kind of fucking clout and connection, right? Like, I can't ask for it much more, and I'd rather go out on top than of where I feel satisfied and my fans do. So that's where we're at now.
Well, we kind of referenced a little bit.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I rant. That whole rant was to go to, what the fuck are you doing with Tony Storm? You have gotten less out of the most captivating character in wrestling in 5 years. You might have got 15 to 20% value. Maybe at most. You had no idea how to book her. You had to watch Matt and I for fucking style and production cues that you stole 3 months later, and the cart is fucking already out of the barn. The horse already out of the barn on that one. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? And now she's back with, like, remember this nostalgia when she was an indie worker who wasn't that over, and we actually came up with a gimmick that was awesome but didn't know how to produce it? Well, guess what? The under gimmick's back, everybody. Yay! Fucking
Oh, and we should
brutal,
also
bro.
have her come back on Rampage, which only has 2 more weeks left as a show. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's put her on the dying show as her return.
Asinine, bro. That's complete. You couldn't do it any more incorrectly. You really couldn't. The fact that we never had any movies with her, that other people weren't brought into her broken universe. Even I was ready to keep this gimmick, but do a whole new one as Orson Welles. Make me a Hitchcock director, bro, because that'd be the only way I'd be able to actually craft this thing how it should be, to take it out of everybody's hands. Not just to, like, everything. I'm gonna get myself over. I'm a fucking pro wrestler. That's what I do. That's my job, is to get over and get heat, or get the character over, or get the catchphrase over, and then make her the fucking shining star, bro, until she would probably do a Kiss Me Kayla turn on the director, storm off the set, and I get a pie in the face and whatever, right? But like, before that, we would have made 3 or 4 different movies from the silver screen era featuring her. She would have to take no bumps. Everybody would have learned how to act properly and correctly, because I would have brought them into the fold. And then they would have had me as a director to show them how this scene works, and the light bulb would go off, and then their wheels are spinning. Now we're saying yes and to each other, and it's art by committee. Instead, we're back to a backwards baseball hat with a fucking black line under your eye. Good luck, sweetheart. You had something, and now it's gone forever, because you try and reboot that. Now you're going to try to look like Johnny come lately, fucking limping back in. It's not going to mean shit. What a beautiful aviator style 19 roaring 20s to greatest generation 1940s world we had, and we did nothing with it. Everyone over there in production and writing and even performance should be embarrassed. I almost feel bad for Juice Robinson because I bet that guy had a lot of awesome ideas to like put into there. I think that guy's a really great creative mind, and maybe just didn't want to die on the vine going to bat for all that creative when he's got to get himself over, right? Like, that's the biggest miss in wrestling. That and the Hardy Boys coming to back to WWE is the fucking goof Hardy Boys from the 90s instead of the Broken Universe. Could not have fucked either thing up more, bro. Really brutal.
Brutal Bob Evans, as you guys like to say.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple other stories here. I mean, I think the big story everybody's heard about over the last couple weeks was the CEO of United being killed. And now they've arrested a gentleman named Luigi Mangione. But I actually want to talk about the follow-up story to this, and I'd like to get your thoughts because you kind of pointed out maybe in the past before. Wanted posters now of CEOs in Manhattan are triggering fears of copycat shootings. Police are hunting activists who have posted wanted posters of corporate executives around New York immediately following the shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Some of those include top bosses from Goldman and Sachs, Bank of America, American Express, and J.P. Morgan, as well as other faces of health insurance, the CEO for Optima Health, and the new one for United Health Group. Ben, chickens are starting to come home to roost. It looks like people are getting pissed, and you've been pointing this out for the last 2 years. How long until good old boys and good regular people say they've had they're tired of it and they take it into their own hands? Are we getting ready to see the people getting strung up on the pole? You know what I mean?
Yeah, January 6th won't compare to January 7th. That's for sure. Yeah. Like what? Like if I sit here on a podcast and start calling people to incite violence, they're going to come for me, right? So I'm not doing that. But this is the human nature of what we do. This is French Revolution possibly starting. Of you want to do let them eat cake and fucking whatnot while people are getting $7.75 an hour while guy just signed to the Mets for $756 million. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? From the haves to the have-nots, and these dudes bonusing themselves $26 million at Christmas on top of their already exorbitant salaries, but they say, no, your fucking grandpa can't have the lung cancer medicine because he's past a certain age. He got exactly what he had coming to him. And everybody on those posters, they're on those posters for a reason, not just because we picked them, that they're funny to like, haha, well, gotcha with some art. They know what their indiscretions are, and that's just the scratch on the surface. Where are the ones with all the war profiteers? Where's the ones from General Mills or fucking anybody who's been poisoning your food supply, GMO? Where's the Bill Gates ones? Where's Coney 2012? Like how far do you want to go with all these executives from Exxon Valdez who are fine to dump oil in the fucking Gulf and then use Dove soap to try and scrub down the birds and not have to answer for any of that shit? Like all of these masters of industry that put dollars above ethics in American life, or they actually are poisoning you on purpose because they also own part of Pfizer they give you red dye number 5, but they also are cashing in on the fucking chemo treatments when you got to get those too. That's exactly who these people are, who live in Westchester, who live in Martha's Vineyard, who live in private fucking HOAs in Florida, who live in the hills in California.
New Haven or whatever.
Yeah,
New
yeah,
Haven.
yeah. I have zero empathy for them. I was surprised when he got shot in the back that he didn't do the CEO dance. I was waiting for that. Like, thought all CEOs know that. But this has been, I'm not like, oh, this whole country's got to go. These people got to go. I've said for many years, 1,500 targeted heads of state, Illuminati, fucking Bohemian Grovers, G20 summiters, banksters, Rothschilds, anybody connected with the 13 families. There's only, you look at who owns it all at the top of the food pyramids, at the top of the fuel pyramids. There's only about 40 companies to 100 companies, I'd say, actually, across all industries, with a board of directors of 20 people, and they're all in on it. They're all in on it. They know the lies. They know what they're poisoning in Flint, Michigan. They know where there's lead in the pipes. They know where they're dumping asbestos. They know all that shit, and they should sleep with one
And
eye
if
open.
and if
Ripping
you
your
and if you
pants
don't
out.
believe what Ben has been saying for the last couple years, didn't Dr. Fauci recently? It was revealed on the stand, leaked audio footage of him saying during COVID, "If we make people comply, they will comply." So it's already there in audio, folks. That they want you to comply, so that way they can have complete control. Just like the medical healthcare system, right? Denying claims of people and people getting upset because they're not being given this, being afforded the same opportunities other people are.
Yeah,
Someone pointed it out in the chat room that the police now are saying that the CEO is that Luigi wasn't even a client of United Healthcare. They found documents stating that he wasn't a client.
dude, the kid
NYP
went away for 90 days in San Francisco. He was living the high exec life. None of this is like, the kid's just a millennial who's got a good conscience. This is all MK Ultra. This is all a fucking spy state thing. He's definitely tied into it. The ghost gun, the story, the writing on the shells, all of it's planted. All of it's a misdirection spot while Israel fucking blows Syria out of the water. So, like, the fact that we needed this pop culture story of the Robin Hood who went up against big corporate culture that has fucked us for the last 30 years, but we just took it because USA, like that's the story, that all this is there. This is Diary of a False Flag 101, using a useful idiot. We still have zero information on the dude that took shots at fucking Trump. Why do you think that is? You think they're not coming out of the same programs by the same handlers? They absolutely are, bro. So none of this is what it seems. If you got screws in your back, you're gonna fucking wear a backpack and jump on a fucking city bike for your getaway. Does that sound like the
Somebody who's
right
got
plan?
money. He
Yeah,
posted on
you know,
Facebook a
you
year and a
know that
half.
the guy. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say he posted on Facebook a year and a half ago that the surgery was a success and was telling other people to get surgeries if they need help. So like you have one guy who was promoting the health system and got the care he needed, comes from a wealthy background, but apparently, as you're pointing out, yeah, he's gonna get away on a little motor scooter and take off.
Like, and know where this fucking CEO is going to be on the block on the way to a meeting. Like, these are handlers who give information to patsies. And was there a 3D printer in his house? Let me ask you that. I didn't see that in any story. I got a ghost gun, but I don't have a 3D printer. Okay, I want to, because if he's got that, that means also on his computer there would be a fuck ton of STL files. Show me the Rocktopus. Show me a Benchy boat that are like the simple calibration cubes. Like, then I would believe the dude's a 3D printer who then went to one of the sites, got the fucking files downloaded, might have made it. But there's nothing, even I've even been looking in the 3D printing world where anybody's saying anything about that at all, dude. So, and it wasn't like 2 years ago that Biden was like, anybody caught with a ghost gun is going to get blah, 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 right? So, like, they were going to crack down on it, and he just happens to have a ghost gun. Like, dude, this is too easy of a script. When it looks and feels like Hollywood, you know who's behind this motherfucker. It's not like writing, oh, I have to be poetic and write these on the shells as well and the casings. Like, nope, you went too far. You fucked up. Like, I smell a work now. Oh, the guy just knew that this dude was going to be walking down the street at this part to go to the stockholder meeting, but we don't have any information before that. He just happened to know to run up on him and hit him then, bro. Nope, that's a handler knowing fucking this is where it's going to be at this time and dropping him off. Like, it, if it smells like a work, it definitely fucking is.
Crazy stuff here, Ben. Last thing here, I've got just to give a update here on the case. Janelle Grant, the attorney's issue statement is the stay expires in the Vince McMahon WWE lawsuit. As of yesterday, the 6-month stay in place on the civil lawsuit against WWE has expired. The stay was put in place earlier this year as the federal investigation demand continued, but for now, the civil lawsuit and the criminal investigation will proceed concurrently. Grant's legal team has said, "We are pleased that the prosecutors for the Southern District of New York have concluded that they can continue their criminal investigation while we bring forward new evidence in our civil case about the sexual exploitation carried out by Janelle Grant's abusers. For the last 6 months, Ms. Grant has waited patiently to hold Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE accountable. Her wait is over. We now look forward to sharing Mrs. Grant's story." Of course, though there is another important development regarding the case, it's set to take place in the days ahead, with U.S. Attorney Damian Williams announcing that he will resign as of today, December 13. And Williams is the attorney for the Southern District of New York, with Grant's representatives urging Williams to begin prosecuting McMahon before he leaves office. President-elect Donald Trump has nominated Jay Clayton for the office, but there will be an acting U.S. attorney in the meantime. Is that all connected? Is this guy stepping down because maybe Trump's team friend of McMahon wants to put somebody in place there that would maybe see McMahon's side more?
And where is that guy going? Is
The
he
other
going
guy?
up?
Oh, yeah.
If he's leaving that office to put in somebody who's paid off already to get rid of the federal and state criminal case, so you're just left with the civil case and you can pay that out without having to worry about any going to jail for rape, fucking interstate human trafficking, and yada yada yada, whatever else, because you're boys with Trump and he's going to put his guy in there and be like, there just isn't enough circumstantial evidence for me to fucking do this, right? Yeah, it sure feels like that. And if we're in a system where there's drones flying overhead in Jersey and some asshole's going to come out and go, there's just no corroborating evidence that people are seeing
Don't
what they're
worry about
seeing.
it. You just let them fly over you and
You
continue about your
you
day.
think the old boys club can't fucking bump somebody up from local government to federal and put in who they want to get that done? That's exactly what's happening right now. And I wouldn't doubt if that Fed case is stopped. And I think that's a huge mistake for Donald Trump, putting Linda McMahon in anything right now in any position and doing any favors that's going to cater to Vince McMahon's abhorrent, deviant sexual proclivities. Like, that's going to come back to bite Trump in the ass by not throwing those two people into the wood chipper like they should be thrown into, bro. Janelle Grant, that will never go federal where Vince does time now, because our government's way too corrupt and nobody's got the fucking balls to do it. She'll get paid off probably $30 million of the three that she was probbing. They'll probably go 10-1. And that's what is $30 million for Vince McMahon. If he's got 6 billion and you're making fucking interest at 4%, go do the math on $6 billion at 4% interest in a CD or whatever it would fucking be, that she'd be paid off in 1 month. So it's fucking brutal that this is where we are. And like, I'm like this across the board now. Like, there's movies I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch anything with Kevin Spacey in it. I don't want to fucking listen to anything that Diddy's on. Jay-Z can get thrown in the fucking wood chipper too, bro. Like, if that shit comes on here, I just fucking skip it, because they had every opportunity to be a top dog in an industry and lead the way, and instead they took that power and abused people with it.
All right. Well, Saturday night's main event, let's end the show with this, is tomorrow night. There's reported rumors that some names returning are the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, Greg the
Yeah,
Hammer
let's bring
Valentine.
it. Let's bring in the guy who scammed Mississippi for $100 million with his kid. Let's bring him back here to do the laugh. That's super worth it. Let's spit in the face of all those people, the poorest people in Mississippi that they stole money from. And we got to get a nostalgia cameo from this fucking guy. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to affiliate with these dudes
Yeah.
like that anymore. You know?
Well, I was going to ask, are you interested to hear Jesse the Body? That's what I was leading to. Jesse the Body
I
back on
wanted to have him on
commentary.
our podcast. I just to be out there. Oh, will you come on, McMahon? What we're gonna get a couple nostalgia things. You think Jesse the Body knows who the fuck the Lash Legend is? So if you think little kids know who Jesse the Body is, they're like, who's this guy that looks like Frankenstein coming out here? Like they don't know. So who is it really for? A 1980s nostalgia of that. So you're talking this show is for 47 to 55-year-olds.
I would think so. I mean, if you think about the demographic who's probably still at home on a Saturday night watching NBC.
And then I turn on Raw and some asshole's got his 3-year-old on the fucking railing. Like, who is this show for?
Yeah.
Are you doing nostalgia for Gen X, or are you just gonna fucking do your TVG Muppets show where we don't say damn, but we show girls' asses and see through fucking gimmicks? It's like, get your fucking shit together. You can't have it both ways, and your show will never be good until you choose one side or the other and commit to the bit. So my biz partner's going. It's in Long Island, but there's still tickets available because floor seats start at $275. You're going to charge people during Christmas when money's tighter than a fucking nun's crotch, $275 fucking dollars for floor seats because you think you can rape them now because that's what your competitors are charging and whatnot with the product you're putting out, and it's not sold out 48 hours before 24 hours before go time. Good luck with it, buddy. No, best bookers of the year, killing it out there. Super smart business people to rape and pillage people's pockets instead of giving them value added where tickets are only $50. Bring a family of 4 for only $199. Nope. $275 a rip plus $600 for a belt, you fucking mark. Oh, thanks, Uncle Game. You're the best, buddy. No. Fuck that noise, dude. The other fuck that noise before we had, I watched the first 20 minutes and I got hot of this Jamie Foxx special, bro.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I saw you post it.
It pissed me off, dude. The whole thing. Like, here's the thing. Jamie Foxx went through whatever he did. Did he poison him? They said it was a brain bleed aneurysm, but they couldn't find where the brain bleed was that led to a stroke. The original cause of a stroke was not there. So what is going on with Diddy? He throws Diddy on the bus multiple times and fucking that Diddy poisoned him pretty much to cause that. So I go, why would Diddy poison him? One of two reasons. Either Diddy wanted to fuck him up the ass and he didn't want to do it anymore, and after he had done it probably plenty of times, or the fact that he has tape and they knew it was coming down on Diddy with Ciroc. I heard that's who was behind it, the big alcohol push to topple, all this stuff for Diddy and have it come out. You can go look up videos now on YouTube of Jamie Foxx and when he got over in Hollywood. I'm not talking Living Color days and after that, where he started hanging with the elites. Fucking, what was Jamie Foxx's thing? I'm gonna pick up the camera, follow Puff around, and be the dude, and I'm gonna get in all these parties. I'm gonna be the party guy and throw the parties. At the beginning of this fucking thing, I don't even call it a comedy show. It's not. It's a one-man show. Psyop is what it is. Jamie Foxx is like, I didn't go to those parties. I left by 9. Bullshit. There's video of you talking to Denzel Washington and putting over that you were the party guy, got the hose, got the fucking shit going, and did it at a cost way cheaper than what Diddy wanted to do. Like, he's bragging about it. But now I'm supposed to believe that Jamie Foxx, well, I'm innocent. You don't get to be Ray in a biopic picture. You don't get to work in Any Given Sunday at a high level with Al Pacino unless you are at the highest levels of these Illuminati actors. So what's he do? He has this little theater that the whole audience are plants of people who know him. And of course, they're all, I won't say all, but majority minority. Specifically for that, he keeps putting over Atlanta because that's where he is in this theater to like endear himself to it, putting over the hospital, and Atlanta brought me home, and it feels like some Southern Baptist church pandering. And even he puts his sister over, and he's like, and they held me down, and they cut to the women, and all the women are like, yeah, we got our man, and all this shit, bro. Like, it's the most black pandering of that. Even he goes, I'm not dating white girls anymore. All the black girls go crazy in there, and they're like, in public anyway, like, slam whites, blacks, protect me. Why? Because he's in on all that Diddy shit. He taped it all. He's fucking, if you get to that height in Hollywood, he's been in those backroom Hollywood parties with two in each hand fucking going at it, bro. So I've been watching this dude since In Living Color, early days, Def Comedy Jam. And I know his comedy. Is he super fucking funny? Yeah. But he was doing that LaWanda, I want to rock your world, fucking emasculating women and black men wearing fucking dresses and shit long before anybody. And who else was on that show? J-Lo was a backup dancer. They've all been put in this meat grinder whether they were Disney kids, fucking Tyler Perry to wear dresses, Martin to wear dresses and then go crazy,
Martin,
Dave Chappelle, and this fucking guy too. And all this whole special is for him to try and get a foothold in Atlanta. So when it drops, all the black community will back him up in a very Southern Baptist kind of way to fucking and let's throw their whole church under the bus too, because who's the other guy named in all this? I can't even think of the preacher's name, but he's like the biggest black preacher, and he's got tape on him of doing all type of sexual deviancy shit too after ripping people off, and he's like the black megachurch guy. I can't think of his fucking name. No, I mean Al Sharpton maybe too. I can't think of it. But this whole thing, I agree, Mike Martin. This is all Jamie Foxx's PR team trying to get ahead of it to make him look like the victim when he was right alongside all those guys and probably facilitated the parties that this shit happened at because he wanted to be in with the top fucking rappers and producers and directors. Yeah, TD Jakes. Thank you, Hammer. That's who I was talking about. Like they're all in on it, bro. And this is not a comedy special. This is a psyop to try and clear his name from those dudes. But he's right connected in it, and I didn't fall for it for one fucking second. The first 20 minutes is some of the worst acting he's ever done, where he's trying to like break down and empower the black woman who held me down, like. Dude, I see what it's as much as writing the fucking words on the shells on the fucking gun, bro. Smells like a work. It definitely is one, which makes me want to see him taken down more. I'm not saying he hadn't been through a bunch, but guess what? That's who you rolled with. You wanted to fucking be with dudes in your locker room who either wanted to bang you up the ass and give you amyl nitrate and fucking make you pass out so you put on a goddamn maid's outfit and hang out with LeBron James, or if you want to play Ray, this is what it takes, buddy. Like that's who these dudes are. Not I'm so thankful for Atlanta and my sister in the hospital holding me down, and there's people in the crowd like, you look good, thank you, sister, like they're trying to like preach, brother, and all this. Then they cut to people in the crowd on jokes that are like not that funny at all. They're dying laughing, and like it's young girls like with braces. Like those girls don't know who the fuck Jamie Foxx is, bro. They don't watch Jamie Foxx movies and understand. They were 18 months old when Ray came out. So like I'm just seeing these things even in Hollywood now. I'm going, the balls on these people. You are telling on yourself by doing this shit, instead of doing what you should do when you have heat in the locker room, which is stay fucking small and shut the fuck up, because the heat will pass and land on somebody else, but they can't. That is guilty conscience 101, dude. And to be honest with you, I want to see him burn now more than almost the other guys because of what he tried to play. He got caught up in those dudes. They tried to kill him and he kicked out. I would have said he went through a tough year, and fucking those dudes tried to burn him and he made it through. But when he tries to do this shit so he can stay back on the Hollywood elite's good side, you fucked up, dog. You fucked up bad.
You shouldn't have done that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it today for another edition of the Friday Locker Room. Our comeback after a couple weeks off. Of course, Ben Hameen always holding it down at the dispensary and whatnot. But I just wanted to, I've got, we talked about a little bit at the top of the podcast. We're getting the restructuring going, guys, for the uploads. Ben Ray has just had lost a number of family members in the last couple weeks. My schedule does, though, change here beginning January 5th. So I'll be working overnights. So I'll have plenty of time during the day to upload stuff, get things back on track. yeah, I got back into the gym this week. Joined the joined the YMCA because I was missing that steam room. I don't know anything else. Yeah.
Matt, we miss you in the steam room. Where are you, buddy?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I was looking for the thing to take us off with here. But yeah, of course, guys, you can check out South Park Pod on YouTube. Check out my podcast on all South Park on all media outlets. SMB 259 should be dropping at some point this week. I still have to edit it. But other than that, check out the Raw and SmackDown review this week with Ben Hameen, Stevie Richards. You can check out Castrating the Marks, Stevie Ray's show, Lions, Tigers, Bears, and Head on channelattitude.com under russobrand.com. Sign up $5 a month. You can also go to patreon.com/RussoTWC and sign up there as well. You can get Master Shoot Theater with Ben Hameen and Stevie Richards, as well as a extended special once-a-month version of Castrate the Marks, I believe, as well. So go ahead and check that out. Ben, what do you got going on coming up in the world of weed this weekend?
Yeah, man, obviously Eddie Day here at Ravens Joint between now and the end of the year is going to be a banger. So it's Friday, our busiest day of the week. So I'm just looking forward to doing big numbers and serving up the best cannabis New York State has to produce, man. So I hope you guys have a awesome holiday ahead. Make sure you watch yourself on the road during these crazy times where people aren't paying attention. Nothing worse than that. Screw things up. And y'all, glad to talk all that shiz today. And to be honest with you, I'm just in the down with the CEOs, down with the false celebrity, and up with the truth, and up with real human beings who understand where we need to go. All these politicians and the gaslighting, they're also telling on themselves and are what is impeding us from reaching our next best level as humanity. So I have no tears for them. And I hope they don't sleep well.
And heat's on you, Kaz, because Ben would have hooked you up with edibles, and it would have lasted you for months. You done fucked up. You done fucked up, Kaz.
Yeah. You hurt my feelings.
Hurt your feelings.